Good evening, folks, and welcome to concert night. We're calling this the Folk Potpourri night at Common Ground on the Hill. Traditions Week 3, 2020, a Tuesday evening concert. You may be tuning in at a different time, but you may be tuning in right now. And if you're tuning in right now, you should get ready for some magic because this is going to be a magical evening. We're going to start off with the magician, Dave Thoman. Welcome, Dave Thoman.
Well, hello, Walton, everyone here with Potpourri Folk Night, Common Ground on the Hill. It's great to be back with you. I have something very exciting for some new magic. You can see I'm set up for a 2-card Monty, but these 2 cards deal with potpourri because we know an apple a day, occasionally with a banana parfait. You know, you have banana and apple leaves in terms of the potpourri, but this is a 2-card Monty where I mix up cards and you play along at home on YouTube and you have to guess where the apple is and where the bananas are. So if you're with someone watching, raise your hand if you think this is the apple. Now, if you're not raising your hand, you're basically telling everyone that you think this card here is the apple and not this one. And if you didn't have your hand up, you know what? You should give yourself a pat on the back because you were right. But with these magic, I always want to make sure everyone wins, so check it out. In fact, an apple a day keeps your common ground teacher at bay. Let's make this a 1-card Monty where I hide one of the cards and just turn them like this, everyone, and then you'll know for a fact that this one, of course, this one here is the bananas. But we know, if you have any apple potpourri, an apple a day, not if you're a castaway. You actually would want to save that apple because if you ate too much of it, you wouldn't have anything to eat. Unless, of course, maybe, you know, there could be some bananas growing out there as that castaway. So give yourself a round of applause for playing along with that Monty. In fact, Walt, I have a little question for you.
Fire away, Dave.
I was wondering if you have a favorite hour. And if you have a favorite hour, don't tell me what it is because I have an idea. I'm going to show you what my favorite hour is, and then we're going to see if we have a match. Because the benefit of our evening concert, everyone, is a desktop view of something that actually sits. Here in my close-up pad all the time. You know, I like to capture time with a watch. I did that last year on stage. But Walt, this is time captured in a paperweight. So a large US map, a large clock on a little map, I should say. And Walt, my finger was covering the hour. Walt, name an hour.
I like the midnight hour, Dave.
Really? You're craving that midnight hour. Well, I can't believe this. You're not going to believe this, Walt. But I want you all to see this because this sits on my desk. In fact, I made this time capture display for you all could get a good understanding of how this is set up. Because when I turn this around, Walt, it's hard to believe that you like the midnight hour, but you should know that on my desk, under glass, I'm also always looking, Walt, at the midnight hour. So that is indeed something that Walt and I have in common, and he'll be the first to tell you that we had nothing prearranged in that. In fact, before I end my potpourri display, I literally want to display some potpourri. Here we go. In here.
There's not a thing in there.
This is how I like to display my potpourri.
Ah, believe in magic. Whoa. Whoa.
Let's change up the view there for a minute, everyone. I want you to get a direct view in there. Is it empty?
It's as empty as a Walmart shopping bag.
Potpourri. How I like to display it here at the D's Magic Home Theater. I'm looking forward to seeing some great art, hearing some great folk music. Oh, and one final thing, just so you all know, ending with some more amazing magic. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure.
Dave. Dave Thuman, what a magic guy. And by the way, Dave is available for parties. He can do his magic long distance. He'll do you a magic party online. So be sure to connect with him, Dave Thuman, and he's teaching an advanced magician class this week. Great to have you with us for the second year in a row, Dave, and keep making that magic happen. Before you know it, the COVID thing will be over and we'll all be back in our homes. Wait a minute. We're in our homes now. Thank you, Dave. Well, we have a wonderful evening of music to follow all that magic. And we have a brother team that's not going to be able to be a team because they're living in two different places. They're longtime common ground folks. And the first of the brothers is now living, I believe, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Make welcome Michael G. Ronstadt.
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much for having us, Walt. Appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you here.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
And I wish Petey and I could play together, but I'm glad we could each play a song. So
Yeah.
I pre-recorded just in case I lost good signal, and so I figure we can just roll away if you want, or if you want to talk to Petey for a second.
Oh, I would say
Michael Ronstadt,
There you
and
go.
on behalf of Ronstadt Brothers. Petey and I are each sending a separate video because Petey's in Tucson, and I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I wanted to play a song that I wrote in April, on the 2nd of April, in fact. And it was still starting to warm up, but kind of chilly. And I felt like it was, I don't know, I felt like that feeling that we still have today was getting to me. And I was driving through kind of a more wealthy area, very close to where I live. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's called Amberley Village. And maybe it was me living in a 650 square foot apartment, kind of close-ish to that area. Beautiful spot, but not in the fancy house. I don't really want a fancy house, but this song came out of me, and it's just how I felt at the moment. So. I'm going down to Amberley Village, where the snowfall melted and the grass is tall. I'm going down to Amberley Village, where the water waits and everyone knows their place. I hope you'll join me in Amberley Village. It's a nice time of year, and we're all here to share. I'm going back to the place I came from. I'm going down, down there. I think that spring has turned to fall, and summer never showed its face. Snow is quick to make a new call and leave us stranded inside empty space. I've seen the trees grow up and fall when the wind blows round. There's more to this squall, can you believe anything these days, these days, these days? Summer never showed its face. Snow was quick to make a new call and leave us stranded inside empty space. I've seen the trees grow up and fall when the wind blows round. There's more to this squall, can you believe anything these days, these days, these days? Can it help us see the truth? Will it help us lay new roads? Can we break open the doors? Can we open up our cores? I think that spring has turned to fall. Asked her if the snow will take the draw. I've seen the trees grow so tall. Am I becoming all too small? I'm going down to Amberley Village, where the snowfall melted and the grass is tall. I'm going down to Amberley Village, where the water waits and everyone knows their names. I hope you'll join me in Amberley Village. It's a nice time of year, and we're all here to share. I'm going back to the place I came from. I'm going down, down there. I hope you enjoy, and have a great rest of the Common Ground on the Hill week. And thank you so much for being a part of all the classes. What a pleasure to be a part of this community. It's been about 11, 12 years that I've known you all, and I hope you enjoyed my non-cello offering on my classical guitar, which I don't take out very often. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you all.
Thank you. That's great. I'm going to have to check out Amberley Village next time I'm in Cincinnati. And it's nice to hear you playing guitar. You know, when your dad first told me about you, he told me about your prowess on the cello. And he said, and you know, I don't know if I ever told you the story. He said, you know, Michael's just like the calmest, greatest guy. Don't mess with his cello.
That's funny.
Don't mess with his cello. We sure miss your dad.
Oh, we do. Yeah.
Our next performer is your brother, Peter Dalton Ronstadt, known to his dad as Petey Ronstadt. And he's out in Tucson, where he has a wonderful studio and a great young family. And I'm sure he's doing a lot of projects, social distancing and recording, I'm sure. So make welcome all the way from Tucson, Petey Ronstadt.
Hey, Walt. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me. Tucson, Arizona, where it's hot and dry and the COVID roams free. I don't know about anybody else, but my calendar's been pretty open. So I've been at home a lot and working on the house. So I thought of this little Woody Guthrie song that my 4-year-old absolutely adores. It's called Bling Bling. You get a hammer and I'll get a nail. You catch a bird and I'll catch a snail. You bring a board and I'll bring a song. We'll build a house for the baby on. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Run, bring mud and I'll bring clay. So when it rains it won't wash away. We'll build a house that'll be so strong. The winds will sing on baby a song. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Run, bring rocks and I'll bring bricks. Pretty little house we'll build and fix. Run inside when the cold wind blows and kiss our pretty little baby, yo. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. You bring a ladder and I'll bring a box. We'll build this house out of bricks and blocks. Snowbird flies and the honeybee comes. We'll feed our baby on honey from the comb. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Bling, bling, a hammer with my hammer. Zingo, zingo, cutting with my saw. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Walt.
Thank you, Petey. Thank you, Petey. Great to hear you both, to see you, and I look forward to a time when we can see you both together again.
Me too.
I know we're all feeling that we all want to be able to play music live and in each other's presence, but here we are, and I think this is pretty cool. I think it's great. Our next performers come to us from the Foghorn String Band. And I'll tell you a quick story. I was so excited to bring the Foghorn String Band to be with us. They are just an amazing old-time band that also does great Cajun music and 2 men, 2 women, which is an exciting thing to see in old-time music. And they were playing in Baltimore, and we were actually delivered pamphlets for them to distribute in the rest of their spring tour. I didn't get to see them. I dropped it off at the club where they were playing that weekend. And of course, they never played and never arrived because COVID hit that very day. So this is my first chance to see some of these folks. And They are Nadine Landry and Sammy Lynn. They've sent us a video. They're on their way out to the Gaspé Peninsula to do some camping right now. So we're going to get a great video from one half of the Foghorn String Band, Sammy Lynn and Nadine Landry.
Well, hi there, folks. Hi. Welcome to our backyard, eastern Quebec. We live on the Gaspé Peninsula, just across the bay from New Brunswick, and having a great time teaching fiddle and banjo this week. Really looking forward to the rest of the week. Good old time. Sad we can't all be together in person, but maybe next year or something like that. We're gonna play a little medley here, just two tunes smashed together. First one's called Chadwell Station, and the second one's called Ain't Got No Honey Baby Now. 2, 3, 4.
I ain't gonna have my children, no honey baby with me. I was a single man roaming around town. Now my love got married, got no honey now. She's gone.
All right. Oh man, wouldn't you just love to hear those folks playing down in the gazebo or around the fountain? But we got them right there out there in the woods on the Gaspé Peninsula. That was wonderful. Man, that was some great old time music. Nadine Landry and Sammy Lynn, thanks so much for being part of our week. We've got 3 more days to go. Our next performers come to us from New York. Oh, no, I got that wrong. They come to us from Kentucky. They say one of the fellows, well, the only fellow in the group is a Kentucky colonel. I'm not quite sure about that. And the other person in the group has done some really great scholarly work on women in Appalachia. And well, they are our Berea College connection when they're not living on to it up in New York State. Make welcome all the way from Kentucky, Liza and AJ.
Hey, we always feel welcome, and we miss everybody terribly. That's probably a cliche right now, but God, it's heartbreaking, especially for us extroverts. I think the introverts do better than the extroverts. Am I right? See? This song was written in the early days of this disaster, when, for a brief, shining moment, it looked like everybody of every stripe understood how important it was to act as one unit, and that we're all just as strong as the weakest link, and that you share something critical in common with everyone you love and everyone you hate and everyone you don't know and everyone you know. And Liza made the point yesterday that we hope that this song has a short shelf life, that there will come a time when that song just doesn't apply. It's old news. Don't sing that song. It doesn't. Nobody can relate to that anymore. But today, unfortunately, it's relatable. Someone wash their hands for me today. Someone wash their hands for me today. Though we may never meet, they may live far away. Someone wash their hands for me today. Someone stayed inside for me today. Someone stayed inside for me today. Though we may never meet, they may live far away. Someone stayed inside for me today. Someone stood 6 feet apart for me today. Someone stood 6 feet apart for me today. Though we may never meet, they may live far away. Someone stood 6 feet apart for me today. So I wash my hands for someone today. I wash my
for someone today. Though we may never meet, they may live far away. I wash my hands for someone, and they wash their hands for someone, and that someone wash their hands for me today. Love you.
Wow, that makes me want to wash my hands. And I want to know now, AJ and Liza, are you sure that song wasn't written in 1918? And that you may have heard it on an old cylinder or something? Thanks for your thoughts, and stay safe down there in Kentucky. Our next performer has been a mainstay of, along with Rex Riley, keeping us online and happening. And he's also been teaching recording at Common Ground on the Hill. He's helping to run the gazebo. He's a busy man, and he just retired from being a fireman and put on a cowboy hat. Now, I told him he could make hundreds of dollars doing this folk music thing, and he took my advice, and he got a second job. But if you see him walking around with a container, I'm going to bet that there's probably whiskey in that container. Make welcome Phil Spee.
Well, howdy. I'm sorry I can't be there with you all in person, but I have managed to send a video, so I hope you all enjoy it. This video kind of is themed, though. As you can say, just say "Niet" to Moscow Mitch. Well, this song's about the opioid epidemic that's going on after running a couple calls as a firefighter. This song is actually a true story. A guy passed away from opioid addiction that we ran, and his young daughter, because of short staffing in the fire department, for part of it had to watch us do CPR on her 25-year-old dad. The reason why I'm wearing my "Just Say Niet to Moscow Mitch" t-shirt, I don't know why he's stalling, but there's bills in Congress right now that are sitting on his desk in the Senate that can help fix this problem, among other things that are a problem with this man. But I wrote this song. It's gonna be on the new Probably Whiskey album. It's called Adeline, so I hope you guys enjoy and maybe think about some things. Roofing's never easy, it has its ups and downs. When you're in the sun all day, when you misstep, it tends to be down. Doc gave him pills to take the pain away. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Codeine and me, let us be. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Go and play, Adeline. Watches his girl through the window of the world, alone out playing in the yard. Take one pill, take one more to chill. Needle works better than the bottle ever will. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Codeine and me, let us be. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Go and play, Adeline. to fall asleep, he hears distant screams, sees men coming in his dreams, sees them pump his chest, and she hears his dying breath. With it he said to her, Adeline, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Codeine and me, let us be. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Go and play, Adeline. Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Codeine and me, let us be. Oh, Adeline, don't take away Daddy's codeine. Go and play, Adeline. Remember, vote in November. Say Niet to Moscow, Mitch. And peace and love. And don't forget to wash your hands. Have a good one, everybody.
Yes, sir. That was Phil Spee with some solid advice, a great T-shirt. If he had anything in that cup, it was probably whiskey. That's the name of his band, by the way. And while I'm thinking of it, remember to support all these musicians and writers. Go to their websites, buy some music, buy some books, download some stuff, spread the love around. People are having a hard time. You know, the gigs are just sort of drying up. They're sort of non-existent right now. So take good care of the artists around you and the ones you see tonight. Just go up on their website and get out your plastic. Our next performer has been with us a number of years now. He plays this exotic instrument that I've often thought, what would it be like to not know about this instrument and to encounter this guy in a dark alley? It would be amazing. From the Czech Republic and now the United States for the last close to 40 years. Make welcome Bob Ryschlik.
Thank you, Walt. You know, feel like in dark alley here. All right. So I would like to play for you a combination of things from my two classes, which is Fuera class and Bohemian, Moravian, and Slovak favorite folk songs. So I picked a song which is Slovak, but never played on Fuera because it is probably very difficult for most people to play on Fuera, and also it's being played with like cymbalom group with fiddle and like other instruments. So, and it's pretty funny song. It's about the guy who was supposed to go to military service, which was like 6 years at least, you know, and people died, and he was running away, and they were chasing after him, and he said, I'm gonna rather jump from the bridge to river than to go to jail, you know. So, but the melody is not joyful enough. All right, so here it goes. Beble, voda beble, pomedzi dve jedle. Pomedzi dve jedle, pomedzi dve jedle, pomedzi dve skaly. Hej, čo som to porobil pri Detvanskom moste. Že mi hodím sa do vody, nebudem farešte. Hej, keď ma chytali pod polanou z lesa, že mi zakladajú na ručky železa. Thank you. I want to say something else right here. I think I want to thank everybody for amazing effort, conquering all kinds of problems, running all classes simultaneously, and other programs, including this concert. And as a celebratory fanfare to Walt Michael, Maria Wong, Matthew Wilson, and everybody else on the team, I would like to play on Slovak koncovka, primitive instrument with one side hole. I would like to play classical piece, Rondo from Symphonie de Fanfare. I will be mostly using only this one single hole. It's just interesting. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Bob Rishlik. If you want to have a good experience and learn more about Bob, go online and find his TED Talk, where he talks about his journey from behind the Iron Curtain to come to this country many years ago, where he risked everything, including family and friends. It's a very inspired TED Talk, and it's interesting when he was in the Czech Republic, you were seeing Pete Seeger play many, many years ago. And that was a beacon for him. And it wasn't until Bob came to this country that he started looking back at his own roots and took up the fujura and other instruments that were traditional. And now he's a leader in that field. But check him out on the TED Talks, Bob Brischlick. Our next performer comes to us from Florida, but she's originally from Missouri, from the Boyer family. And her mom was her mom was the sister of Bob Beers. Bob Beers was her brother. And Bob Beers started one of the most important festivals in folk music, the Fox Hollow Folk Festival, which was really the breeding ground for a lot of other festivals that came about. Susan, I remember seeing Susan play on main stage, playing the psaltery and singing like an angel. Now, I know she's not an angel now, but she still sings great like an angel. And she's living in Florida and has a wonderful family. And it's going to be great to see Susan Boyer Haley on our stage tonight.
Thank you so much, Walt, and everyone. I'm thrilled to be here this summer. I appreciate the vision of everyone. I wouldn't have been able to imagine teaching in this format, and I've just loved the last few days. So I thank my students, and I'm choosing a song. I've thought a lot about my parents and grandparents during this time of reflection. I learned this ballad at home, and it was a ballad that was on my mother's side of the family. My grandfather, Roy Beers, was one of 12 children and came from Pennsylvania. And he was a medic during World War I and came home and had known my grandmother's brother. So he made the introduction, and she was from Wisconsin, a little town called Sullivan's Pocket where my family homesteaded there. And they fell in love. And this was a song that they both knew from the different parts of the country. It has roots in the British Isles, and I'm going to play it on the mountain dulcimer, but I wanted to dedicate it to my little granddaughter who has loved singing, and she's the 7th generation now of a singing family, and she knows this one. It's called Green Gravel. Green gravel, your bank is so green, the fairest and rarest round pebbles I've seen. My true love has wandered far over the sea, all over creation he wanders for me. To Asia, to Persia, and lands far and wide, he carries my pebbles all by his bedside. Green gravel, your bank is so green, the fairest and rarest round pebbles I've seen. Miss Becky, your true love is dead. The king sends a letter, so bow down your head. 'Twas on the dark prairie we heard his sad call, all by the deep river your true love did fall. Green gravel, your bank is so green, the fairest and rarest round pebbles I've seen. Miss Becky, your love has been found. 'Twas only his stallion that fell to the ground. 'Twas only his stallion that fell to the ground. Your love stands behind you, so turn yourself round. Green gravel, your bank is so green. The fairest and rarest round pebbles I've seen. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. That was great. Great to hear you play and sing. It brought to mind something that I've known about my family over the years. You know, we're living in this era now where we're all, you know, we're living in caves, and it's hard to connect except by this great technology. I found a poem song that my great grandmother's brother wrote to her. He had actually left Illinois. Oh, there's a chair creaking somewhere. Someone needs to mute. It was either that or something broke into the house. I'm not sure what it was. But so my great grandmother's brother left Indiana and became a freighter. Actually, a scout for a freighter, meaning people who were on the prairie schooners. And this song that he wrote to her was a lament that he knew he would never see her again. And that wasn't that long ago. You know, we're talking about 100 years ago, that our world has changed so much. That back in the day, not that long ago, people made decisions that led them away, and they knew they had to make those decisions, much like Bob leaving his country to come here. So these ballads reach out across the years and speak to us powerfully. Our next performers, it's just so great to have them on board these days. Skip is a wonderful guitar teacher and player. He's been teaching guitar for many, many years. And Brenda is the concertmaster of the Columbia Orchestra, and she plays in the National Philharmonic. She's teaching fiddle and sight reading, and they're both taking part in the klezmer band workshop. It's great to have them here. Make welcome Brenda and Skip Anna.
Thanks, Walt. Don't need that. First, a little comment, musical. Happy Bastille Day, y'all. All right, so.
Coney Island was where she would play. You could hear lay. The soap suds on the ground, bubbles all around. Rub-a-dub-a-dub in her little cup, all those tunes she found. Thimbles on her fingers made a noise. She played Charleston on the laundry for the boys. She could rag a tune right through the knees of a brand new pair of DVDs. Coney Island, watch for Adelaide. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Skip. And Brenda Anna. Well, that was some Coney Island stuff going on there. That was great. And happy Bastille Day. I hope that everyone had a piece of cake today. On Bastille Day. Our next performers come to us from the Ira and Mary Zepp Center for Peace and Nonviolence Education, which started a number of years ago with the blessings of Ira and Mary Zepp. Make welcome from Uniontown, Maryland, Charlie Collier and Pam Zappardino.
Thanks, Walt.
Thanks, Walt.
Pam and I are the Zepp Center, and what we do is nonviolence and peace education. And that word nonviolence is a problem because it's a terrible word. So I want to take a couple of minutes to just talk about the meaning of nonviolence, and then Pam is going to talk more about nonviolence in action. Understanding the meaning of nonviolence is the most important thing you can learn in the whole universe, and that's why the universe is up there on our first slide. Rex, you could go to the next slide. Okay, so we've got some pictures of happy kids here, and they bring to mind the word joy and maybe the word excited. But imagine that we didn't have a word for joy in our language, but only the word non-miserable. Or that we didn't have the word excited, but only this awkward term non-undemonstrative. Okay, and are those the words you would use to describe these kids? I don't think so. The non-words by themselves simply do not capture the rich, positive meaning of those missing, wonderful, positive words, joy. And I guess in an earlier draft, I was working with delicious, so that word is still in there. In the English language, that's the situation we have with this unfortunate word nonviolence. It's a terrible word for what it represents. Next slide. Okay, we have a colleague named Rachel McNair, and she has put this in a very understated way. She says, nonviolence is a poor word for the phenomenon to which it is applied. Right, okay, so what is this mysterious phenomenon that the word refers to? Because the word itself doesn't tip you off very well. To understand it, we need to learn about some good examples of it, and then try to draw out its characteristics from those examples. And we turn to history. We know from history that nonviolence has taken different forms, but that it can be principled, practical, creative, and even transformative. In the hands of somebody like Gandhi or Martin Luther King, nonviolence has been a constructive force capable of changing whole nations for the better. Next slide. So several years ago, when Ira Zepp and I were writing our book, we wrestled with this basic question: how can we define nonviolence in a way that captures the richness of its real meaning and potential? And there was no one word that would do the job, and we finally settled on a definition that is a kind of prose poem. So here it is from about page 25 in the book. Nonviolence is an approach to life in which people are valued for their own sake, and in which the idea of successful living includes peace achieved through peaceful means. It demands the best that people have to offer, both in crisis situations and in the course of everyday life. It is active, courageous, realistic, and challenging. It can be learned. Nonviolence does not have to be performed perfectly, but to the extent that it can be practiced, it makes a valuable contribution to the quality of life and to relationships with other people, whether they are friends or adversaries, by creating conditions that support human beings rather than doing violence to them.
Next slide, Rex. Ira Zepp taught us that to know and not to do is not to know. Think about that for a second. To know and not to do is not to know. So what does nonviolence look like when put into practice in the world by ordinary people? Well, it doesn't look much like what many in authority have described in the days since the murder of George Floyd. Nonviolence, it seems, is badly misunderstood. Those in power have called for a passive, rather timid response, an absence of anger and conflict. They want a way to avoid tension and care to cause no one any inconvenience or discomfort. They also want a way that keeps from disrupting the status quo. But that's not nonviolence. That's better described as negative peace. And with negative peace, violence is always just around the corner, under the surface, ready to explode. Nonviolence, in fact, is an active, engaged process. It doesn't mean to stand idle in the face of injustice and just take it, just turn the other cheek. It doesn't mean to walk calmly in the streets one day and then simply go home. It ain't gonna let nobody turn us round, turn us round, turn us round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn us round. We're gonna keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, marching up to freedom land. In other words, nonviolence challenges. It exposes the tension that lies beneath the surface so that it can be addressed. It seeks change, and it is, by definition, disruptive of the status quo, of comfortable routines, of privilege. It requires strategy and a commitment and a clear view to the goal. It requires that we listen to and understand our opponents. It fosters positive peace. It heals. And yes, it demands that we do all of this without violence. Further, nonviolence requires not only that we refrain from using violence, but that we demand justice, and that we refrain from using violence in all cases. It demands that we don't rest until that justice is rendered. that we do not rest, as Dr. King often said, until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. It requires that we not rest until change happens. Finally, it requires that we never, never give up. Anything less is not nonviolence. Thanks for listening, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie and Pam of the ZEP Center for Nonviolence and Peace Education. You stop and think about it, where else can we get these lessons? As we watch our televisions, where are these words? When do we encounter them? When do our children encounter them? When do we speak of these things among our families? We encourage everyone to have those conversations. We need them now, and we've always needed them. So if you'd like to learn more, you can always take Pam and Charlie's courses in Nonviolence and Stories of the Civil Rights Movement. I urge everyone to watch the Thursday night concert, which is a response to things that have been going on in the streets, the killings, through a creative lens of our artists. And I especially would like you to pay close attention to Guy Davis's song on Thursday night and to Sheila Arnold's story, among all the other great music that you'll hear. Well, our next performer comes to us from up in the mountains of Maryland, actually due west of here. And Slim has been making wonderful community music for years and years. He is the go-to person in the state of Maryland for children's programming and leading young folks in song, making them feel welcome in the music. So make welcome Slim Harrison.
Hey, thank you, Walt. Yeah, I didn't get to work with the kids this year, but I thought I'd send along a video of a tune that I rewrote from Malvina Reynolds' poem back in the late 50s or early 60s. Pete Seeger sent me a copy. He said, Slim, can you put some tune to this song? It's got a great meaning. It's about peace marches. And I wrote it up, and then all that, Desert Storm stuff happened and peace became obsolete. Unfortunately, the Peace Weavers program and the Peace Dove program that I've been working on with Pete kind of fizzled. But I revitalized the song, just rewrote it a couple weeks ago because we were at a Black Lives Matter rally in Frederick. Thousands of people out there standing in the rain, as the words of the song said. And I said, oh, that reminds me of that song from Malvina Reynolds. So I took out my fretless banjo that Pete Seeger signed for me and work it out. Now the sound doesn't come through so well here, so I videoed it, and Rex is going to play a copy of the video for you. Hope you enjoy it.
Well, if this world survives its plight, and every other day I think it might, in good part I guess it will be, 'cause the great souls in our community, there's lots of them. I've seen them walk in silent, thousands out of city block, and standing vigils in the rain, singing Black Lives Matter and the killings and pain. Well, if this world survives its plight, and And every other day I think it might in good part, I guess it will be, 'cause the great souls in our community. They work in hospitals, nursing homes, they join fundraisers and they work the phones and turn the handle of a print machine to get out the vote, keep our cities clean. Well, if this world survives its plight, and every other day I think it might in good part, I guess it will be, 'cause the great souls in our community. The streets and they walk the walk, take the stand when they know what's right, and they won't give up when they fight the good fight. Well, if this world survives its plight, and every other day I think it might in good part, I guess it will be, 'cause the great souls in our community. They empty their pockets as the plate goes by and gaze into the camera's eye to answer the question, will the world survive? And they all will say, we've tried, but sure tried. If this world survives its plight, and every other day I think it might in good part, I guess it will be, 'cause the great souls in our community.
Thank you, Slim Harrison. Thank you so much. That was a mighty fine sounding banjo you got there. And I saw you had a bunch on the wall. If you want to get rid of some of them, just I'll come by, even in COVID, and pick them up from you. That's some great playing, and wonderful to see you, Slim. We'll get together and play some music soon enough. Our next performer comes to us from Florida by way of New York in the end of the last century. He was very active in the Greenwich Village scene, and he's a co-founder of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. And in his time in Florida, he's been a great songwriter, acknowledged by the state, and taking part in academe as Professor of the Year. Wonderful songwriter, and I must say that years ago he wrote a song, and every year we get a royalty check from that song. He wrote it for Common Ground, and that check means as much to us as the big, huge checks. Make welcome from Florida, Rod McDonald.
Thank you, Walt. Hi, everybody. Well, you know, this concert tonight has made me realize how much I miss being there in person. My whole family and I were planning on coming up and taking classes and being there all week, and here we are. I'm glad we can get together like this, but it's kind of, in the overall sense, disappointing, of course, that we can't all be together. Now, I want to kind of pick up where Pam and Charlie left off a little bit. One of the things that has meant a lot to me in being at Common Ground on the Hill over the years has actually been contributing to my own education, not only about music and songwriting, but about just my general ideas of life. And so I'm going to play this song. And I'd just like to mention that I've been doing a show on Facebook every Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to continue doing that for a while. So after Common Ground on the Hill is over this week, come on in and check in on me sometime on a Sunday night. This is a song from my most recent CD, Beginning Again. I wrote this song in response to events that unfortunately keep happening over and over again. Don't speak to me of God if you just mean white on black. Speak to me of justice, and when you have done justice, you can speak to me of God. Don't
Don't shout to me of freedom if all you mean is profit. Whisper your compassion, and when you've shown compassion, you can shout to me of freedom. Tell me that of science, of knowledge, of wisdom, some light's bound to find the cracks. If you've prepaid for your opinions and pre-ordered your ignorance, you should demand your money back. Hey, don't sing to me of love and then assault my body. Show some understanding, and when you've shown your understanding, you can sing to me of love. Now you can't sell peace and quiet if all you mean is status quo, and there's a necessary change in the winds. If you won't speak for justice, you got to know that justice will speak for herself again. Hey, don't speak to me of faith, yours or any others. Speak to me of justice, and when you have done justice, you can speak to me with love.
Oh, well, a little sloppy, but you get the idea. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm very much enjoying the concert. So, love watching everybody and hearing you all. Bye-bye.
Great to hear you and see you, Rod. And yes, we all do miss one another at this time, but here we are together as best as we can be. And I sure do love your songs. Always filled with hope and reality. And not quite sure which one comes first or last, but we're on the path. Really beautiful, beautiful work. Our next performer is a writer. She comes to us from Baltimore, and she's the author of 2 novels, Bringing Vincent Home and Stone Harbor Bound, as well as a poetry collection called Crucial Blue. With 3 other Baltimore area poets, she's also the author of In the Margins, A Conversation in Poetry. Her poems and prose, short fiction, creative nonfiction, and opinion pieces appear widely in both literary journals and news venues, including the Baltimore Sun. During the Vietnam War, she served as a nurse on the burn ward at Brooke Army Medical Center and is a member of Veterans for Peace. Madeline is teaching 2 writing courses with us this week. She's awfully busy in the morning, so she's been in the Search for Common Ground class, and I'd like to welcome her now. And be sure to go to her website. She has a great website. And I think you should go to everyone's website that you've seen tonight. And be sure to see Madeline's website. It's really a wonderful website. Make welcome Madeline Misko.
Thanks, Walt. I'll be reading 2 poems tonight. The title of the first is Pietà. but I call it myself the Shora Wallen poem, or the Common Ground at the Border poem, because I wrote it after I took Shora's class, and it made a great impression on me. All you need to know is that the woman in the poem is Shora. Pieta. On the map of the desert near the border, the locations are indicated by red dots, and I think, yes, so many red dots, like so many drops of blood, a body here and here and here, more appropriate than little white crosses to indicate where exactly the dead were found. Though I do think cross. When the woman showing me the map, she carries large bottles of water into the desert and leaves them there, so people don't suffer, or worse, die when trying to cross. Tells me about the people who trail her into the desert in order to slash the side of each bottle. Sacred water, I think, and wound, which she bears now. The knowledge there's that much hate. People who'd rather the water drain out onto dry stones than reach the one who suffers. And cross again when she tells me about the man she found. She calls him the man, not the body, even though he was already dead. Cross, perhaps because she describes him as on his back, arms open, palms open, the very figure of human vulnerability, or maybe supplication. And when she adds that, of course, there are vultures in the desert, and vultures come swiftly to death, but hadn't come yet to this man, which meant he couldn't have been dead long. And also that she saw a small drop of blood at the corner of his mouth. Then, yes, I think, all holy. Blood, water, vulture. These two crossed in the desert, one dead, the other bent tenderly beneath the pitiless sun. And I'll close with a shorter poem, a bit more upbeat, from my collection, Crucial Blue. I noticed that people tend to smile when I read this poem, so I kind of wanted to close with it. Snowbirds crossing over. Oh, the miles of orange groves dropping less than perfect fruit. The ratty palms festooned for Christmas in the rusting trailer parks. The wistful little amusements rusting to 75 degrees and rising, we have arrived. But oh, the wide and coldly flawless sky, that flat blue beneath which all the warmth seems coward, pressed against the ground. Whatever lies beyond those spotless clouds isn't glancing down, couldn't care less. Along Route 27, a billboard shouts that Jesus has gone to make a place for us in heaven. Oh, better to think of him right here in Florida, pulling up a lawn chair beside his aging Airstream, loving it, loving us. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. The Airstream. What a, you know, what an image that is. And I have to say, I'm not kidding. About an hour and a half ago, I was looking at an email that was trying to sell me the latest Airstream trailer. It's awfully nice. It's one of my price range. So I used one with a very person in a launch, I think, where we should go. Thank you, Madeline. Our next performer comes to us from Annapolis, and she's been leading people in song for many years, and it's great to have her back on our staff. She's teaching World in Harmony, the Big Song Swap, and the World Music Community Choir, which you can join at 6:30 every evening. So join on in. Come on to the onto the website and sing along. Make welcome Elizabeth Melvin.
Thank you, Walt. Good to be here. So glad to be back after several years. The song that I wanted to play for you is actually on a video, and it's a song that I sang a cappella yesterday in the Big Song Swap. But in this version, you're going to hear 50 people singing backup. So it's a lot of fun. It's my choir, the Freedom Choir. And we performed this song in December, and it has a nice little connection to Common Ground in the following way. I was turned on to this song by a beloved member of the Common Ground family who has passed away, and that's my late, great, beautiful friend, Eileen Carson Schatz. She turned me on to this song that was written by Mitch Barrett and his ex-wife, Carla Gover, and it's called Drop in the Bucket. And she fell in love with this song and turned me on to it. We never got to perform it live. She had it as a part of a school show. But it's a great song with a great message about the power of one person to start a movement. So here's the video of Drop in the Bucket. Oh, and Mark Schatz is playing bass on this. Enjoy. Oh no, wrong one. Uh-oh.
Well, it was good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It was good. It wasn't the one that you intended. But I tell you, we'll work it in on Friday night if you would wish, so that we can
Yeah, sorry.
honor
But
Eileen.
I hope you all saw Eileen stand up at the end there and cheering. That was her in the blue headscarf. And she was going, woo! During the...
How unlike her.
Yes. All right, well, thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. And how do people join your Freedom Choir? How does that work?
TheFreedomChoir.com. But every Wednesday now we have a Zoom event that's open to everyone, and people come from all over the US and Canada. So you can drop me a line, contact@thefreedomchoir.com. It's every Wednesday at 11 to 12 a.m. to 12 noon. And I have one guest song leader each week. And next week I've got somebody from the UK. So it's really fantastic. Contact
Well,
at
that's great.
thefreedomchoir.com. Thanks.
Thank you, Elizabeth Melvin. You should join her choir. Our next performer was also a friend of Eileen Carson's, and danced with Footworks for a number of years, and comes from a very musical family. His father is known worldwide for making the best of the wooden Irish flutes. Matt's a great dancer and has taken his work to graduate level work, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do this evening. He's teaching clogging and flat footing at Common Ground this year. It's not too late to join his class. Make welcome Matt Allwell.
Hello everyone, Matthew Allwell coming to you this evening from Virginia. Hope everyone is well. Big thank you to Walt and everyone at Common Ground for doing some amazing work to put this week together and to transition it to this online format. I know that we all love to gather together and make music and dance live. Hopefully this will tide us over till the next time we can do that. I'm going to do a couple of tunes for you. I'm a big fan of mouth music and lilting, and so I'll lilt a couple of tunes for you. The first one is a jig called Ingonish, and I'll follow it up with a reel called The Queen of May that I learned from the playing of the great Kathleen Keneally. Here goes.
There we go. Matt Allwell, fantastic. Man, playing that bodhrán like he owns it. I think he does. It's fantastic. Thank you, Matt. Great to see you again. Our final performer of the evening comes to us from the Hudson River Valley, where her ensemble, which ranges anywhere from herself to her husband Bill and rest of the family, to dance troupes and school organizations, they just sort of own that Hudson River Valley in terms of music and dance. They've been doing it for a number of years. We spent a lot of time recently in India for the last several years, and I can only, we haven't had that conversation, but I can only hope that you're hoping that you'll get back there at some point in time when the world settles down. But make welcome from New Paltz, New York, Olivia Vanaver.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. And Walt, thanks for inviting me to perform tonight. And it's so good to see all of you. Oh my God, I miss you so much. But this is an amazing technology that we have to be able to Zoom. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a poem that I've done at Common Ground before, so you might all know it. It's a poem by the Indian poet named Rabindranath Tagore. And it involves your participation. So shake out your hands. Come on, Walter, I can see you. And roll your shoulders back. This is an audience participation dance. And it's a poem that uses your hands and your face, and it's a poem of peace. And I truly dedicate this to peace in the world, peace in our own hearts, and to the peace that needs to be taught in education, especially with young people. I actually did this poem this morning in a Zoom class with kids in India that I teach on Tuesday mornings. So place your hands over your head. I'm going to move back just a teeny bit. Place your hands over your head and I'll teach you what each movement means. The great creator, you can repeat the words after me, made. You do this like you're pulling something, like you're stretching. Use your muscles and it makes it come out so much better. Yep. The heavens, lift up your hands, and the earth. And the oceans, just ripple them to the side like this. Good. And the fish, take one hand, put it on top of the other, start by your chest, and swim towards me. And the fish. Now look at the palms of your hands like you're reading a book. Cross them over, lock your thumbs together. That's it, that's it. And circle your head 2 times, and the birds. Beautiful. And the mountains. Splay your fingers apart as much as you can, and you can lift them very high. Lift them way up. Now take all your fingers, place them on your thumb, lift up pointer and pinky, and the animals. And when you say leaping, lift up your eyebrows. Leaping over the face of the earth. And the great creator, also, just nod your head, made, good, a person. But why should one person kill another person? Are we not all the children? You can look through your hands like you have something very precious. If you can, lift your pinky and your thumbs as well, but if not, just cup your hands and elbows are out. The children of one great creator. Good. So we're going to shake our hands out. I'm going to put on a song called Ragapati. You can, by the way, see this dance performed by little Hannah when she was 4 years old. She's sitting in a pool in her backyard and she's doing this poem. You can see it. It's on our website, vanvercaravan.org. It is so precious. But let's do it together. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We greet each other, we say namaste. And we begin. The great creator made the heavens and the earth and the oceans and the fish and the birds and the mountains and the animals leaping over the face of the earth. And the great creator also made a person. But why should one person kill another person? Are we not all the children of one great creator? Namaste. That's the story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Livia, for bringing some peace into our evening and for keeping the flame alive up there in the Hudson River Valley.
Yeah, and Bill says hello and sends his love. And I want to say one more thing, Walter. It's Woody Guthrie's birthday today.
Whoa! And Bastille Day.
Yes, and I'm sent Rex a video that we just made of one of his children's songs with Woody singing, and our kids are dancing to it using their hands. It's actually a PSA called Washi Washi.
Oh, yeah.
To wash your hands.
Well, that's great. And you can, folks, you can go to the Vanover website. What is your website?
VanoverCaravan.org.
.org. VanoverCaravan.org. Yes. And again, I remind everyone to visit all the artists' sites and support them as best you can. I know we're all stretched, but there's always a little more room when you stretch. Tomorrow night is Blues Night with the Red Rooster. Kerry Wolfson will be holding forth as the Red Rooster all the way from Boulder, Colorado. And we've got some great people lined up, including Mary Flower and Professor Louis. I think Guy Davis is making an appearance, and Shelley Enzer, Leah Gilmore. It's going to be a great night. And then on Thursday, and this is also archived, I would ask you all to be sure to watch Common Ground Search for Racial Justice through Song and Story. And that is our Thursday night concert. It was recorded 2 Thursdays ago. It's going to be shown each Thursday night. So if you see each other, be good to each other. If you see each other on Zoom, be good to each other. And thank you all for coming out. A special thanks to Rex Riley and Carol Riley for all their work in helping to get all these videos together. And of course to Maria Wong and Matt Vinson for their tireless work in the office. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? It's pretty outrageous what they've been able to do to keep everyone as happy as we can. And to Linda Van Hart for circling and painting the wagons in the art department. And for Pam Zappardino to keep all of the school teachers enrolled. And thanks to all you school teachers out there who really are the backbone of our work now. We hope that what we teach here can make it somehow into your coursework. We know that you have a lot of rubrics to fulfill, but we ain't no rubric kind of place. We just tell it like it is and leave it to your artistic muse to figure out how to get this into the hearts of the children that you teach. So until tomorrow, We'll see you. Get some sleep. Don't hang out in the gazebo too late. Don't be up till 4 o'clock singing songs with Elizabeth Melvin. You know, you just can't do that anymore. Well, you can if you'd like. And remember, there'll be a gazebo on Thursday night. You all take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.